Hello! Welcome to the Reloading Podcast here on the Firearms Radio Network. I want to take time to thank Jake and Ryan over at Patriot Patch Company for their bandwidth sponsorship of this program. PatriotPatch.co. Well, you know, I've only been trying for like 70 episodes to get that right. About time I did. Yay. So this is some of the cool stuff that they make. These are the last two patches of the month. So this is May's, and that was April's. So that's the stickers. They also, this is another one of the patches they made with a sticker. Just amazing. Here's the actual April patch, so you can see the difference between the sticker and the patch and see the good quality. So awesome morale patches. Check them out, patriotpatch.co. Oh, Jared, that's tough. Also want to take time to thank the Sean and the gang over at Firearms Radio Network for giving us a place to hang out for the last 7 years. Good grief. For all these shenanigans and hooliganisms. So, yeah. So what's everybody been up to? Sharenda?
Moving. Got a hand in coming near you. Well, not literally near you. And the organization that I partnered with that was starting up new for outdoor women activities is officially launched. Yes, I have no shame. That is our website. And getting ready to move. So that's it. Everything's been kind of slow with my move coming up.
Yeah, packing for that will do it. So, when are you moving anyway?
First.
First? Okay. Yep. So it's coming up quick.
Yes.
Travis, it's been a couple weeks. What you been up to? For those who haven't seen your video escapades.
Yeah, you guys need to go over, and we started back up on This Week in Three Gun. So we were in Rexburg, Idaho, and like I said, I filmed the good and the bad. The cool thing I did find out, if you watch my video, you guys know I've gotten this STI DVC 3 gun, and I've been having some small issues with it. The first run of that 3-gun match, I had a couple issues, and I decided to switch out the recoil spring. I was running a 12-pound in that. I put in a 14-pound and 0 issues after that. So, like I said, I'm showing you guys the good and the bad. For those who can see, I was out in the sun all day out in the Idaho desert. I sunburnt my nose. So we had a good time out there. So you guys should at least go over and check out some of those videos that I've been posting. If people can kind of see, I got a little delivery back here. Think I got in 44, 48 pounds of Shooter's World powder, something like that.
Whoa.
So, yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. It's not all mine. Kind of went in with some people. So, I think that's probably all I did. What did you do, Jason?
I listened to Gun Dude's podcast, and I heard somebody on it.
You did?
Yeah, but I have a question about something that they talked about. So they were talking about your shipping, and I heard mention the free shipping, but I never heard the no shipping, like I got that one. I didn't hear you bring that one up.
Well, Jason, you remember you purposely clicked on the no ship will pick up option. So you did it to yourself, bud. Ask any of these other people on the panel how my shipping is.
How's the shipping?
Well, even his gifted shipping is great.
Mike, how's my shipping?
Shipping's pretty darn good.
You just got to know what you just got to click the right box, Jason. And I've also been told by a certain individual that I'm supposed to, even if you want it shipped to you, I'm supposed to hold it hostage so the three of us can meet up. So my hands are tied.
Kinky. That's right, Chris Sharp. You're exactly right.
So what else did you guys do?
Jason?
So I wanted to go out to the desert and go shoot some long range this last weekend. So I called Dusty, and he can't go past 150 miles radius outside his base. So he was out.
That sucks.
And so I was talking with my coworker and his son that also works for us and trying to convince them to go. And they backed out Friday night. So I did not go shooting, and I wasn't happy all weekend.
That's no good.
That's all I did. Mark Hookham, because he's in the military, and I think because of the corona, they're not allowed to travel more than 150 miles from the base.
Yep. All right.
Because they're all jerks, Chico.
So, I did a little more organizing in the garage. I made a deal with a guy to do some horse trading for a CZ52, which I'm getting on Thursday. And got another unloader. This one I just got today. So, this is to replace one that I got as a Valentine's Day present a few years ago and then had to sell to pay some bills. So this is a Ruger GP100, 6-inch with 357. So, and hopefully I will actually get to go do some unloading sometime this week, maybe. So, but yeah, unfortunately, Jim is unable to make it this evening. So, but he should be back next week.
Oh, Mark, he's gonna see these comments.
Uh-huh. Oh.
Oh, I did forget to share something with you guys. I scored, and we'll be trying something new here in a few weeks. Different powder. Oh, workbench horrible.
Hey, Chico Wise. Sorry, I only got 2 out of the 3. I thought I had the 4350, but it's IMR 4350. So now I got to figure out. What load I want to do. So. Kitty, probably going to get another one, wood handle. So the previous one had the Hogue molded grips with the wood handle in it. So. And Rowdy, I will definitely take you up on that. Wild Turkey, probably both. I think I've got a bunch of 38 brass. I don't think I have a lot of 357 brass. So they're giving me information in the chat. So, oh, it's finally done. All right. Okay. Well, tonight's episode 300. And I want to start off by thanking everybody who... Oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot to mention the other thing I'm working on. Where did I put all that? Oh, my other thing I'm working on is I have I've had a 80% 1911 frame for a couple of years now. It's a 4-inch. I have a barrel for it. And so I finally decided to get serious about putting that together. So I found a hardware kit, or a complete spring kit. And then I'm going to meet up with Paul here in a little bit for do some shopping at Paul's Surplus Gun Parts. And he's got a couple of things, including a nice trigger for me for it. So that's my other project I'm working on. So, but so that's my other project I'm working on. So that one I'm waiting for the parts. That one's going to be a couple weeks to get in. So yeah, it was kind of cool. Tokarev 7.62 by 25, which is what the CZ52 is chambered in. It's one of those cool cartridges that I've kind of wanted forever, and they just happen to be on MeWe, and happened to come across the Tokarev posted, and he said he was looking for trades, and so I shot him I've got a Smith & Wesson 22A one pistol that I don't shoot much, and I like it, but I don't like it. It's one of those that it's nice and accurate, but I'm never going to hunt with it. And if I'm going to actually go into target shooting 22, I'm going to get something different. So I shot the guy a picture of it, and it's got 2 barrels, and I put a Bushnell red dot on it, and he was smitten. So I'm all excited about that.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what is the big difference between the IMR and the 4831 versus the H4831?
There is no official. There is nothing out there anywhere that's official that says what the actual differences are. No, that's not what I want. Where did that go? Huh. Well, that figures. Dang mosquitoes. Let's see here. Oh, that's one of the things that Hodgdon has never done and never will do, is actually put out what the actual differences are between the H's and the IMRs. There are some that they're right next to each other in the burn rate. There are some that they aren't. So let me see. Now, with the Hodgdon and with the IMR, Hodgdon's at 89, the H 4895, and the IMR 4895 is at 91. So they're not very far apart on the burn rate chart. But they are far enough apart that if I remember correctly, there is 2 different recipes for them. So, but I'd have to look. What particular caliber are we talking about, Travis?
Well, I'm just if you look up, Russ had a question about some of that, and I'm just answering his inquiry on Shooter's World making an equivalent. And they actually do. And I actually, if you look at my comment, I hit the wrong button. So I put down H3831. I did mean H4831. So I was just trying to figure out how to edit that, but they do actually make an equivalent to that, Russ. But I do honestly think it is their manufacturing powder that is not available to the public.
Now, see, on the 4831s, the IMR is 4 steps ahead on the burn rate chart. Ooh, that's important. I got a shit ton of 2-3 brass. So I guess I really got to get that brass chopper now. Oh, I forgot one other thing. Dang it. Another project. This one will be a lot easier to do, but it requires me finding some dies. Friend of the show, Tim Krosno, sent me this little beauty. 300 AAC. So I was debating on what I was going to do and decided I'm just going to take my 5.56 barrel off my current build and just slap that in there. I've got an adjustable gas block on it right now from Seekins, and I've never actually tuned it anyway, so. So that way I can start getting to some blackout loads. So that'll be fun. Anyway. All right. People are jealous of your lemon cake, Sharenda. And you're muted.
I got too many monitors up. I said, well, I was told it was good. It's been a while since I've been in the kitchen, so I was a little nervous.
I unmuted you for you.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, that tastes good. All right. So Wild Turkey said IMR was the original. H was made to match the surplus check load data for each because while they're close, they are different. So doesn't surprise me. You get a lot of that with different powders where different manufacturers take somebody's powder and figure out it and then go from there. Mr. Kodra, that is Leinenkugel's Summer Shandy. So technically it's a shandy, not a beer, but so Brumbelow, Matt from Geeks, Gadgets, and Guns has a 300 rum. So. Yes, it is. I love it. So it's even better when you go straight up and get it after it's just been brewed up at the brewery. Because that's only 2.5 hours from my house. Ooh. I'm jealous, Vanessa. Love me a good stout. So anyway. So yeah, I suddenly went from not really having anything as far as projects to now I got a whole bunch. So it's kind of cool. But yeah, I've been looking for one of those GP100 since I had to sell that. So and it came in and I'm like, ooh, I got to figure out if I can make this happen. And I did. So. Interesting. Duck egg noodles and duck lasagna noodles.
That was actually a pretty good combo.
Well, yeah, because you're just switching out the chicken eggs for the duck eggs.
Mm-hmm.
So it just adds a little different flavor to it. That would be good.
Vanessa gets on my nerves with her post. And her
Why? Because
food.
she got all this time to do cooking and stuff, and you're like,
Yes, and it all looks good too.
Well, it is good. I'm sure. So Travis, do you have a 300 blackout?
Of course I do.
Do you make your own brass or?
Yes, of course I do.
Okay, just want
to. I even make my own projectiles.
Of course you do.
Of course I do.
I don't know if I'll make my own projectiles.
Hey, I adopted a new. Jason's probably already heard my new saying, but it goes something like, "Give a man some cast projectiles, he shoots for a day. Teach a man to cast his own projectiles, and he shoots for a lifetime."
Unless he powder coats, and then
he can shoot clean projectiles for a lifetime. Hey, Jim's not here to tell us we can't talk about powder coating.
Oh, good.
That's true.
Speaking of reloading and that type of thing, we should probably talk about some of that. I had some fun yesterday. Guy came in, pick up a pistol. Nice Zev. They look nice and they're fancy and everything, but I think I'd get a Faxon first. Better value for the money.
Yeah, what is that? They got the Hellfire and the what's the other one, Mike?
The Hellfire is the one I want, so I don't really care about the other one.
Yeah, in all honesty, these new Polymer 80 frames, they even have serialized ones now. You can make a replica Zev for quite a bit less.
Yeah. So, Andy 79Z28, how does that work with casting zinc bullets? You need to explain that to me sometime.
You just got to go over and watch Elvis Ammo's YouTube video on making zinc projectiles, Mike.
All right.
It will. Don't melt zinc in your Lee pot, though. You'll destroy it.
Really? That sucks.
Yeah.
So at what temperature does zinc start off gassing to where it's dangerous?
We can use some Google Foo and find out.
So I know you're not supposed to weld it unless you have air source, but
yeah, it'll mess you up.
I've heard
I know that. Yep. I won't say how I know that.
Well, that explains a lot, Travis.
That's how you fell down in the stairwell and banged up your nose.
So Andy said you need a cast iron pot. So that makes sense. Paul Loud said that there are no lead smelters left in the U.S. Yes, that is correct. However, not really important. There's very, very, very few things that actually use brand new lead. So, so that's kind of the thing, especially for bullets. Most of your bullet lead is recycled to begin with, at least once or twice. So, zinc melts at 787 according to Chico Wise. Thank you, Chico. Let's see here. Sharp said 1600 degrees. Andy said about 1400 degrees for when it starts to go wonky.
Yeah, so lead kind of does it. I forget exactly, but it's 900-ish.
So they're talking about M1 Garand loads too. So, which there actually is a separate load for Garands because why, Travis?
Because you can't shoot them at the pressures as modern cartridges.
Correct. Because what happens, Jason?
Bend your op run.
Correct. And then you become a sad monkey. I want to say pretty much everybody's got a Garand listed, but I'm not sure. I almost picked up a couple rifles too because we had a couple rifles that are on sale. But I wouldn't have gone over well.
Those are cheap. I've been looking at new pickup trucks.
Ooh, those are not cheap. Oh,
I
look.
can't afford one, but
I should mark that page.
Why do you need a new truck? You don't go anywhere.
I don't need one. It's America. I just want one.
Damn right.
So if you get a new truck, that means you can go visit your kid.
So just
Can
before
and
I
will
left
are two different things.
my wife texted me today about taking Memorial Day weekend, taking a few extra days and going to Idaho.
Oh.
As I'm driving home, I drive by this used car lot, and there's a 2016 Ford F-150 crew cab sitting out there for a decent price. And so I told her, okay, you buy me that truck and I'll drive you to Idaho. And she said, no. So
you're not going to Idaho now.
I guess that means she doesn't want to go to Idaho.
That's shady.
Eventually, she's going to come out from the back and whap him in the head, just like
Mm-hmm.
Marissa does to Jim. Anyway, back to the guy with the Zev. So he comes in and he talking about that and says, so what's it take to get into reloading? I said, let's have a conversation. So we were waiting for his background check to come back. We spent about 30 minutes talking, and then we went out to the shelf and showed him what we had and talked about different things. And damn, Lyman doesn't have the Garand load either. I give up. Anyway. There is specifically a couple of Garand loads out there. I'm not sure where they're at. I've seen them. But so that was fun. Kind of I explained to him the process. Showed him some of the stuff. So he's looking into it.
There is some M1 Garand loadings in the Hornady book. Just seeing which version I've got here. I don't know which one I've got, but it's in there.
There we go. M1 Garand. 150, 155, 168, and 178 are the loads. Or the loads they've got loads for. And that is the Hornady 9th. So just kind of go through the history of the Garand a little bit, like 2 seconds worth, and then talk about the load. So welcome to our friend from the north, Rafter 2A Adventures. So Fat Elvis said Burger, Sierra, and Hornady all have Garand loads. So, Russ, who's yelling at you? Grumbolo said he gets yelled at when he talks Garand loads. Who's yelling at Russ? It's not nice. All right.
Crap, my wife's on the chat.
And you just talked all that shit.
Son of a gun.
Kathy, I figured that's kind of how it went down. But you know how these men are. They got to over or under exaggerate.
Oh, that's awesome, Kathy.
And I'm not safe anywhere.
Nope.
You knew that.
Mike, leave that up for a few more moments.
Okay. Howdy, I know Rogers USMC.
Thanks, Paul.
Oh, good grief. So, just want to thank this is our 300th episode. So, we're going to talk some reloading, but I also want to take time to thank everybody who, that's awesome. I'm putting that one up now.
No, hit her other way. Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Vanessa says you should buy Kathy a new truck too.
She doesn't need one. She's got a 20-year-old Jeep. That's new.
What type of Jeep?
Wrangler.
Oh, that's not too bad then. Now, see if it was like a Cherokee or something, then you got problems.
Mm-mm.
Anyway. Thanks to everybody that's listened, that has participated in one of our live streams with the chat. Sorry, my female dog has an attitude. Who'da thunk it? Ooh. I don't know if you want a Ford F450. That's a lot of truck. Just for driving around.
Chris, I think you should. Let's keep it interesting.
Ooh, that's nasty, Paul. We've had lots of people that have sent us emails. A lot of people have sent us texts and everything else. But the one group of people I really want to take time to thank is our group of Patreons, past and present. And so what I want to do is I want to say thank you to every single one of them by name. So I'm just going to list off their names. And I mean, we can't say thank you enough. If it wasn't for you folks, we wouldn't be doing this. So I want to thank Aaron, AJ, Alexander, Anthony, Mr. Anonymous. Oh, wait a minute. We don't want to thank him. He's kind of a jerk. Bill, Brian, BT 213 456, Carl, Chris. I suppose we should thank Chris. Thanks, Chris. And then we got Dirty Dog Paws, David, Derek, Drew, Eric, Fat Elvis, Jared, Gunfunny, Jack, Jason, Jeff, Jim, Joel, John from Delaware, another John, Calroy, Ken, Brewer Bill, Larry, Hookem. Sweet. Thanks, Hookem. Mark K, Matthew T, Michael S, Mike S, Mitchell, Mr. Attila the Hun, Nick, Patchrat. Thank you, Mr. Nelson. Paul, Richard, Rick, Riley, Robert, Russ, Ryan, Sean, Shane, SoCal Reloader, RP, T-Rex, Tony, Travis, Troy, Vic, and Winfred. Every single one of these people has thought that we were worth sending their hard-earned money to. And I just can't say thank you enough. And I'm truly serious about the fact that if it wasn't for them helping us out, we wouldn't be here. So, just amazing, all the support we get. So thank you to everybody for that. I see that didn't work for Jason asking for a cocktail. Had to go get your own, didn't you, Jason?
She brought it to me. She didn't want to be on camera.
What a woman.
And I made her take a sip first, Paul. So
Andy 79Z28 is saying zinc is easy to cast as lead, need steel modes. Do not use aluminum. That would make sense. Cast pot you can ladle pour. If you have any interest, check out his channel. So, excuse me. Idaho Rogers USMC. Jim was unable to join us this evening, unfortunately, and he is very upset about it. Let's see here. Oh, great. Now the kids are getting loud. So he said he helped Walter get set up for casting zinc out of the box. First time had perfect bullets. Cool. So,
yeah, they just are very lightweight though. So that could be a good thing if that's what you're looking for.
So I guess the question for casting is, casting zinc, that's fine. They're going to be a lighter grain bullet because the molds are made for lead, not zinc, and zinc isn't as heavy, obviously. I guess my question is, how do you adjust your loads? Or do you just run with same cast lead loads and away you go?
I guess it's trial and error.
Okay.
I know if you went over, did a little bit of watching of, obviously we need to go over and check out Andy's stuff because he's been doing it for a while, it sounds like. And he just answered your question right there, Mike. But I know Elvis was shooting some loads and he did tell us all that he was loading and the powders and all that stuff. So you might be able to kind of take that and
Jeff, not really. There's a few different options that people have come up with. They've come up with a rail. I know some people have come up with a rail system. Other people have done kind of like a different version of like the Lee bench, where they're using wood. Some people just get like the stuff from oh shoot. They make a whole bunch of stuff. They've got the different height stands. I can
Yeah.
never remember them.
Yes. Travis,
Travis,
pay attention.
who's your stand
What?
made by?
Inline fabrication.
There we go.
No, I don't have.
Russ and Paul.
Thanks, Russ and Paul. So,
I know, Jeff, this is going to sound crazy, but I would definitely recommend going out to Pinterest.com. There's
there is a whole crap ton of stuff out there.
tons of them out there, and it's organized, so you don't have to search through some crazy forum.
So, JMDG3 said he has his on T-Tracks. That's the rails I was talking about.
That's the one I really like. If I had to do it again, that's what I would like to put on.
Yeah, it all depends on how much space you have. Paul Nelson uses T-Tracks. So, key Ricky.
So, since Jim's not here to pick on, Paul Nelson, are you talking about Tyrannosaurus Rex tracks, or what are you saying? That was funny. He's an old bastard.
I just put a link for Andy's channel in the chat. All right. So, yeah, that's one of the cool things about inline, as Russ was saying, is inline will make you custom mounts. They have a system to change in and out. They've got different height bases, and then it's just a simple plate that bolts in and out. And inline will actually make you custom plates if they don't have one that's already set up for it. So. Fat Elvis, that's an old one, but it's still hilarious. Oh, Nelson said that T-Rex tracks help keep the spilt powder in one place, which would make sense. So. Travis, how do you store your casting molds? Since you seem to have some good ideas on storage.
So let me just grab one. I'll just show you real quick. It's nothing
Okay.
fancy.
Is it me, or does he always say that when he pulls out something? Right before he's going to pull out something really neat. It's nothing fancy.
So for everyone that uses Lee, I got Lee's over there. I just keep those in the original boxes.
Mhm.
And basically the same thing with my NOE molds.
Okay.
I just keep them. And I do take, when I'm not using them. Oh, here's one I haven't even used yet.
Get on that, slacker.
Of course you haven't.
Wow,
Olds have those kind of problems.
that is brand spanking new.
Ooh, that's a fancy.
But yeah, when I'm not using them, I take the handles off, put a rubber band around them to keep the sprue plate from flopping around, and then I just put them back in the box because NOE puts their labeling on there, so I can just look at what I got
Okay.
sitting there, and
Yeah.
so I just and they stack, kind of nice.
Do you have black fingernail polish on your finger, Travis?
No, that is me smashing my finger.
You still haven't made it to the end of the finger yet?
Nope.
Wow, that thing's growing slow.
Yeah.
Have you had to stick a hot needle through it to release the pressure at all?
No, I thought I was going to have to, but I did not.
Just make sure you do that in the bathroom. I had to do that once, and I kid you not, I literally had that thing shoot out about 4 feet in the air.
Ooh,
Wow. It was awesome. Do not like that smell, though. The smell of burning hair and burning nails does not smell good.
Mm-mm.
So
Sounds not that great either.
the sound's not bad. It's just like a so. Sharp had some words of wisdom. Every time Travis says I have something really neat, that translates into I'm going to spend your money for you.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's no fun, Russ. It's more fun getting that needle glowing hot.
It is kind of fun.
So
Yeah, the problem with using a tiny drill bit is you don't want to use it in a drill because you might go further and deeper than you anticipated.
yeah, that's not a good thing.
So here's a stupid story. I'll admit. I took my kid out shooting. He had to have been maybe 10. It was just me and him out in the desert, and I had a drill, and I was putting some targets. Threw up a quick wooden contraption or whatever to put some paper on for him, and I had some of those really, I forget what they're called. They catch. They got the barbed ends on them, and they really catch when you get going. And I stuck my hand right behind where I was drilling.
Oh,
With those kind of like I forget what they're called, but they're like decking screws or something. Yeah, so I went right through the wood and right through my finger, all the way through my finger.
Nice.
And my kid freaked out. He saw my finger just with the screw pull, and I had to back it out. And it took some of the meat and kind of twisted the meat out of my finger, and it was hanging out. And I decided that was a good time for my son to learn a little first aid. So I had him go get the first aid kit and come and bandage old dad up.
mm.
You got to take advantage of them situations with these kids when you can.
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah, I've got stories about drills and going into hands, but we're not going there now. So, and Rowdy said he's starting a cool gun build soon, so that'll be exciting. What you building? But all right, so question for tonight. Oh, here we go. Fat Elvis wants to know: have you guys ever used the temp probe in the NOE molds that helps keep the bullets more uniform and no frosting? Travis?
I'm not even sure I know what he's talking about.
Is there a spot in the NOE mold to put a temp probe in?
No.
Not that
Are you
I've
sure?
seen.
Yeah, I don't know if he's talking about just sticking it in. I don't know. Fat Elvis, elaborate.
Yeah, elaborate.
I say for me, I have that Lyman. It's he says it's an option. I'm gonna have to look into that.
Mm.
I know everyone's saying I'm out of the loop. It's an option.
Wow.
I'm gonna have to talk to Taco and ask why I'm just now hearing about this.
Uh-oh.
I imagine you could probably take existing ones and just drill a hole and then shove
You
a
shouldn't
temperature
do that,
probe in.
Travis.
Oh, you'll be surprised at what I'll do.
No, I'm not surprised at what you will do. I'm suggesting you shouldn't.
You should know I have no patience. So
Yes. That's why I'm really suggesting you shouldn't do that. Because I can see what happens. Hey, look, my mold's leaking. What the heck?
hey, those are just hollow points now.
So, coming
So-
from an experienced caster, why would you need to know the temperature of your mold?
I would think well, you know how when you're going on a long casting session, your mold can get really hot. And then you like for me, I have two molds, and when one gets real hot, I put it down and I go back to another one until it gets hot and I switch back and forth. I would imagine it would really help out able to, keeping you in a certain range on that in that temperature for your mold. So you could see if you're getting too hot, then you might take a break, let the temperature come back down.
Okay, but I'm thinking you're looking at your bullets and you can tell that. And I'm not talking about a brand new person that needs like lots of information, but somebody that's been doing it. I mean, when I start getting a little frosty, I start turning my pot down. I start dragging my mold across a damp sponge or rag.
Yeah, but if you have a temperature gauge in there, you would know exactly that sweet spot, and you could keep it right there.
You just like gadgets, Travis.
I do. There's a name for that, but I'm not going to say it.
Asshole? I mean, what?
But I can see the benefits of it.
Well, of course.
Oh, and they sell the digital thermometer to use in it also. So I am clicking over to NOE right now.
Now, see, what would make more sense to me is to just get one of those fancy infrared thermometer guns.
I have
and then
one.
You could check your mold there. And plus, like, see, here's a reasonable one for $50. It does -58 to 1472. And you could use that, and you could actually check not just whatever spot that the thermometer you're getting and where you're setting it in the mold. I mean, how are you going to get an accurate, consistent temperature? That's the question. Because, yeah, you've got your thermometer in there, but you've got, how deep is the thermometer in there? Is it reading the dead center of the mold? Is it reading the outside of the mold? Is it literally underneath the cavities? Is it on the side of one of the cavities? And that's not going to, it's only going to give you a certain amount of information. The infrared only does surface temperature, not internal. Yes, but you're not getting depending on where they put the holes, you may not be getting an accurate internal either.
Well, I'm going to assume NOE is an experienced mold manufacturer that they know what they're doing.
Right, but my question is, you're only going to get one reading unless there's multiple holes to move the thermometer around. With the infrared, you're going to get the surface temperature, but you can crack the mold open and check your surface temperatures all the way along and see if the mold's heating consistently too.
Yeah, but maybe the probe, I'd have to look at one. Maybe the probe goes all the way through this, like right here. I'm just going to guess this is how they're doing it. They're probably drilling a hole somewhere here,
Right.
By where your handle is, and then the probe's going all the way through all of your cavities.
Mm-hmm.
And I just looked, to have the option of that getting drilled is only $2 added to your order. So
that's not bad.
You might as well do it. Maybe one day you'll want to try it out.
There you go.
And Fat Elvis said, yes, that's how they're doing it. They're putting it right straight through
on the side of the cavity.
Yeah.
Okay.
So order one, Travis, and let us know how.
Yep.
I may just have to do that.
No, just do it right now. Just order one. What caliber do you need multiple molds of?
Well, to be honest with you, all of my molds, I have 2 of the exact same one because I don't want something happening to. I don't want something happening to one of my molds, then I'm out. So I have 2, and like I said, I like to go back and forth also.
Right. Or you could do both. You get the NOE molds with the probe hole. You get the You get the thermometer probe, and then you get the infrared one, and you check it all, and there you go. Even more data. You know you want to, Travis.
Mm-hmm.
Travis
Well,
is one of those reloaders that there's never too much data.
No, I like options. Who just said something like that? MCK seems like overkill, but I like to have options. I feel the same way.
Yep.
If it was like $30 to drill that,
Maybe not.
maybe that's not. Yeah, but for $2, drill me that second hole. Now I'm just looking at how much his thermometers are.
See, now I kind of want to know how much those thermometers are.
And I can't find it.
On NOE,
Yeah.
$32.
Maybe it's under tools.
Well, at least the one I found was $32.
Well, where did you find it?
I typed probe and it popped right on.
Hey, do me a favor. Just go right to the interwebs and type in probe. Let's see what comes up.
No, I was smart enough to do that on NOE's website.
Let's also have you Google a wonderful breakfast item called blue waffle.
That's just probe.
It must be under accessories. No, it is not under accessories. Not that I don't take your word for it, but I want to look at it.
It's under melting pots and related. And then there's a subsection called thermometers.
Okay, got it. So it kind of looks like just kind of an everyday probe.
Really? I must be the fat kid because I was thinking it looked like a grilling thermometer.
Well, if you look at it, it says right on it, barbecue thermometer. So it's just, you could probably use any. He even gives the drill bit. I don't know why they give you an extra drill bit for it too, but
Well, you got to clean the hole out every once in a while.
Shoot, as soon as Bed Bath & Beyond opens, I'm using my coupon.
All right.
So is N Rowdy in the Utah area? Did you see his comment, N Rowdy's, about to you, Mike, about Titan reloading? He wants to know, Mike, do you know when the Titan Reloading showroom is going to open back up?
Hopefully within the next 2 weeks. So it all depends on when our governor pulls his head out of his ass.
Your governor can do that?
He's being forced to.
Oh. My governor can't get his out.
No, that's because you have a bunch of senators and representatives that have their heads firmly up his ass, so he's got to get them out first before he can get his own ass out. Yeah.
Well, just Paul Loud, probe E. No, I am the prober.
Still sounds wrong on so many levels.
And Rowdy, it was a couple of the Wisconsin groups. To answer one of your earlier questions, message me on Discord and I'll send you the invitation links, or message me on Meet. Either way. So, yeah, no, I'm waiting for Dennis to open, so I gotta go out there and do some shopping, and he's waiting to open. I haven't checked to see. The governor did make some announcements that some of the stuff's lessening up. So, no update. So, I'll have to message Dennis or Stephanie and find out and see if they have an idea. Yes, Titan Reloading is in Hartford, Wisconsin. So. Yeah, I'll have to message Dennis or Stephanie tomorrow and see if they have any estimated. So, and Rowdy, when you're going to make that trip, message me. Let me know. See if we can meet up. Yes, Smitty says, "Hi, Aaron. Nice you could join us tonight. So, good to see you last week." So, yeah, Aaron stopped by Cabela's last week. Unfortunately, as I was saying, we didn't have decent primers for him, so he was stuck with Federal match pistols. But nice. My brother lives right around the corner from Vortex too. So yeah, Mark, that's kind of the problem, is because you can't find 9 in stores right now, so everybody's buying bulk online, and all it is a steel case. So, excuse me. Mark was saying, with everybody purchasing cheap 9, I'm getting tired of finding steel cases in my range pickups. Going to have to get a big magnet to make sorting easier. Yeah, that's kind of one of those issues that we're running into right now. So, Fat Elvis says, if you use a furnace with a PID and a mold with a probe, your bullet culls will drop to almost none, and they will have more uniform sprues and weights. That would make sense. Travis is a gadget. Nobody was questioning whether you'd be in.
Wow, I really misread Paul's comment right there. Gosh dang.
Yes, you did. Yeah, Smitty's was one of my secret sources, Aaron. Now you've spoiled them. So. Good grief. So Sharp said that's why you get rid of 9 and go with 45. So, oh, good grief. Anyway. So what?
I was just going to ask you guys a question. As soon, we're getting over this COVID.
Yep.
We're all going to be allowed outdoors again and hang out with each other.
Yep.
Do any of you guys have any plans for the future of shooting competitions, just plain getting out and shooting with other people? What's your guys' kind of your plans for the summer?
Well, I got masks for those people that I can wear when I go. So I have spray hand sanitizer. I have plenty of hunting face masks. So, and some of the stuff we have planned, we're keeping it to 10 or less people at a time. So we'll see. We'll just have to play it by ear ourselves.
Have you thought about? Sorry, Mike. Shrinda, have you thought about doing any pistol competitions or anything like that?
Oh, heck yeah. I got Still Shoot coming up next month. And then the one pistol competition that I was doing is on Tuesdays. So I may be missing a couple of Tuesdays here and there. And I can't hear you, Travis.
Okay, because I was on mute.
Okay.
I was just listening to you. Out of everybody here, you're one that doesn't take much coaxing to try something new.
Nope. I am not. And I'm even getting my Scorpion ready because I'm thinking about entering in a couple other beginner competitions. One thing I've learned about these competitions, if you want to show up to observe, it's not going to happen.
Nope, they'll get you shooting.
Oh yes, I got my wife's gun in the trunk, and you're like, I didn't bring anything. And it's like, well, there went that idea.
Yeah, this happens almost every time. Some people come out and they pull up and they kind of hang out, a little bit way back, and then they start working their way forward, and eventually they get close enough you can talk to them, and it's always the same thing. Oh, I just wanted to come out and watch and see what happens.
Yep.
And every single time they're almost forced, held down, belt strapped on, gun thrown in their hand, and they're talked into going out there and trying it out. People in the shooting community are, in my opinion, are some of the nicest people you'll meet. And I've never gone to any shoot where somebody makes any kind of comment like they don't want that person here or they don't want to help them out. It's always the opposite. It's always take all my ammo, take my gun, take whatever. We'll do whatever we need to.
Yeah, and don't try the classic, oh, I didn't bring any money. You're shooting for free. It's like, God dang it.
Yeah, most of the time for us new shooters, they always get a shoot for free. Their first time's free.
Yeah, I've tricked a couple of ladies into going to some of them, and I don't tell them that little secret disclaimer, so they'll just do it and fall in love with it.
My hope is to get out to an Appleseed yet this year, and because I still don't have my rifleman patch, and that's pissing me off.
I feel you on that one.
And that I really want to get out and try some. I think it's IDPA they shoot just north of here, or it might be IPSC. I don't know. But
I hope you're wanting to shoot USPSA, not the IDP.
I don't know.
USPSA.
I don't think it's
is
USPSA.
the fun one.
That's the best one, but I don't think there is any around here. There is a gun club about 35 minutes north of here that they shoot one of those three at, and I want to say it's IDPA. So
Yeah, Mike, I love Appleseed. I got to participate in it once, but here there's just not enough of them because I tell you, when they're getting ready to open, I think everybody at 12 a.m. midnight goes in and buys all the spots.
yeah.
Travis, why don't you like IDPA?
Oh, it's the Fellow Point Defense League in Portage, Aaron? Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like for old people. You got to wear the fishing jacket, and there's just a lot of stuff that it's not for me. You got to wear that fishing jacket. It's kind of like a cowboy shooting. You got to come up with a goofy name and wear chaps, assless chaps, and no,
Yeah.
you don't have. No, it's there's just a lot of different stuff that's not for me. Like I say, you gotta wear a fishing jacket. There's no reloading on the move. You can't drop your mags. You just have to look into it a little bit more. USPSA is more what I'd be interested in. It's a lot more fast action. It's kind of like the 3-gun of the pistol world. Usually guys who shoot USPSA and then come over to 3-gun usually destroy a lot of people because they're such a good pistol shooter.
Mm-hmm.
I've done IDPA. I didn't think it was bad.
I'm not saying it's bad. It's just not for me.
Because you're a gadget guy. I get it. You don't want a nice fishing jacket?
I actually invited a young lady that's a competitive shooter to do a live Zoom meeting with my ladies group Thursday. So that ought to be interesting. I'm hoping to get a bunch of them hyped up for that too.
Hey, Simon, have you tried cowboy action shooting?
No, I haven't.
I'll probably never do that, but it's pretty impressive.
What would your cowboy shooting name be?
Mine?
Let's go around. Let's go around the table. What would your cowboy shooting name be?
Oh, let me think on that one.
I don't know.
Hmm.
Because the problem is you have to have one that's not taken. So that's kind of the challenge to that.
Might have to use what these musicians, well, I shouldn't say musicians, these entertainers use. They have some app or picture rapper name.
I would like maybe like Buck Naked.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody took it.
It's already taken.
I'm sure.
We'll just do like the kids these days, and we'll just add a number at the end.
There you go.
Well, you guys are no fun. You can't even come up with a cowboy action shooting name.
Nope.
Long Colt.
Long Colt. There you go. There's a good one.
Yep.
Matt Basterson.
There you go. See, we got some good
I
ones
have
now.
to have you guys pick one for me.
I don't know, off the top of my head, Matt Basterson.
I like Hook'em's answer, Sharinda.
There you go.
Well, I didn't even see it. Where is it at? Hold on.
Pink 45.
Oh, I could work with that.
You know, so after the show, all week, I told you my kid, she really liked Red Dawn. I showed her the original a while ago. So now we've been going back and watching some other shows from the 80s, and we just started watching Back to the Future 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight we're going to watch part 3.
Nice.
And then we're going to go back and watch the remake of Red Dawn. She said she liked Red Dawn the best so far, so.
Cool.
I don't think that one would be allowed.
I do like that one, though. That is a good one.
Yep. Oh, they are gonna release Top Gun anyway. I think I know what I'm gonna save my gift certificates for. I found some. My wife was going through gift certificates, and she found some Fandango gift certificates and some movie theater gift certificates that I should be able to use for live streaming something or other. So,
why did you say release it anyway? What was up?
Oh, they haven't been releasing a lot of the huge movies because they're not getting the theater.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
But
Never
yeah,
thought about that.
You know, I'm not gonna lie. The last movie that I really enjoyed Tom Cruise in was, around the Top Gun era, and I really stopped watching most of his crap. And when I saw the preview for Top Gun 2, I was like, "Oh yeah!" So. Nice shot, Paul. Nice shot. Wow. Oh, that's awesome. So yeah, whoever's listening to this, there's going to be a lot of stuff that went on in the chat that you really need to watch the YouTube video or watch on swing over to Reloaders Network when it's posted over there, and check out the chat. It's pretty darn good. So, all right. Well, we did have one actual question for tonight. So, it's from some slacker that's in the chat. Some guy named Jared. Good evening. I've been working with some 178 grain Hornady ELD match bullets and Varget to try and come up with a new long range load for 308. Well, that's your first mistake. You're using Varget. I would like them to fit this magazine, but this requires that I set the bullet pretty deep in the case. Shot a ladder test this weekend, followed by 3-shot groups of several loads that fell into a plateau. Groups were not good at 1 MOA and larger. Extreme spread was terrible. Conceding a bullet deep caused inconsistencies in case pressure, or am I missing something else? 168 grain SMKs at the same length shoot a single ragged hole. As always, thank you for your wisdom, Jared. Yes, 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 yes. So, absolutely. Seating them different depths can cause problems. Multiple issues. First and foremost, especially if you're seating them different for each shot, then what you're going to run into is inconsistency between. So, also you change your combustion chamber essentially.
Yeah, it's kind of like we talked about in the past. Let's just say, for instance, you're working up a new powder load. You'll go out and we've talked about increasing in 0.3 of a grain. So we get however many different variations of that particular powder. We go out and we shoot a group with, let's say we take 5 shots of this powder charge, 5 shots of this powder charge, so on and so on. We can see the extreme spread, standard deviation, all those, the accuracy we get, and then we find that node, and then that's where you start working with that load. So then you can start doing the same thing, what we're talking about now. Pick that charge weight that you like, and then you can start changing, going to and from the lands, and start working on from there. So it's all part of the reloading game, really. There, that's better. Now we're not as scary, Mike.
That's another thing that Nelson said just now is ogive difference between 168 SMK and 178 grain AMAX is going to be a different thing too. So
yeah, but like I say, you could take your one load out and have it seated at whatever, shoot a group, and then like you said, you could change your seating depth, go out with that same load, just seat it a little bit deeper, and you're going to get different results from that. So that's where you can start working up and really seeing what that particular rifle likes. It likes that powder. Now let's see where it likes that projectile seated to. Does it like it seated touching the lands? Does it like it 10, 20 thousandths off the lands?
But yeah, more than likely you're not going to be able to mag load those. So
yeah, and ELDs they're pretty long anyway. They're not the best for semi-autos loading out of a mag.
No. Oh my goodness.
Well, hello, darkness, my old friend.
Okay, if you have not heard the Disturbed version of that song, you need to. Because that is how that song should have been sung originally. So,
Disturbed?
I'm looking at.
yes. So, N. Rowdy wants to know best chronograph besides Lab Radar and the Magneto Speed. Yeah, Well, the thing is how neither of those are technically a chronograph. Magneto Speed's close, but neither of them really are. Paul Nelson said it, Oler. They were one of the first. They're one of the best. Period. Cronies are okay. The Caldwells are okay. But excuse me. So, but yeah, Oler is probably the best. So Jared said he was looking for a replacement for 168 SMKs, and 178 ELD was his first try. I think it'll actually be a good bullet for you, but you got to quit trying to size in the magazine depth and give the rifle what the rifle wants, not what the magazine wants. Those are going to be anytime you're shooting long distance. To be fair, for the most part, you're not going to be magazine depth sizing them. So,
Hey, real quick, Mike. Josh Poe, he says, "Hey, Travis, is the 3-gun over at the Jerome shooting range?" Yes, we do shoot over there the 4th Saturday of every month. So if you're interested, even if you don't have anything, come out. We'll get you set up. I would say no, Mike.
So GGW Reloading, I just recently bought some bullets from an old caster. Do they get too hard to use after 40 years? Theoretically, if they were stored properly, there's nothing that would change. So,
I know they say, like Taco, he tells me he casts up some projectiles and then he waits 2 weeks before he loads them up because it gives them a chance to kind of stabilize and let those crystals basically stabilize, and then that's your final hardness.
yeah.
My thought is I'm going to load them up when I get to them. If that's in a couple days after I cast them, I don't care. They'll probably sit in a box anyway for however long. So,
Yeah. As far as a great increase in hardness scale, no. They shouldn't.
yeah, Jim Fleming would be the one to say that. Jim Fleming, he says age hardening is a real thing.
Is that kind of like your arteries?
He should know about age hardening.
Hardening.
Thank you.
Yes.
Word.
Yeah, I guess if they were coated in lube, that the lube could have hardened up. So, depending on what the lube was. So, yes, you probably would have some oxidization. Oh my goodness, that went south quick. Yeah, that went real south quick, didn't it, Travis? So, I would suspect, and I'm not a metallurgist, so I couldn't say for sure, but I would suspect that if they were stored properly at a decent temperature consistence, then you'd be fine. Alex R wants to know how you chrono at an indoor range. So the Caldwell I have actually has a setup for infrared sun shields. So it actually shoots an infrared beam down at the eyes. Otherwise, what I know some people have done is they've actually put cardboard over the sun shields. I don't know how well that works, because theoretically that cuts off all the light, so I don't know if that would work well or not, but that's one of those things. The biggest thing is getting permission from the range to do it, because setting up a chrono at a range requires you going forward of the shooting line. And usually at a range, that's a no-no, especially indoor ranges, because that means they literally have to shut the entire range down. So it's not a very agreeable thing for your range masters to allow.
Yeah, if your range won't let you pull from a holster, they may not let you go past the shooting line.
Yeah, and that includes reaching over, because my Caldwell sets up on a tripod, so theoretically you could set it up and then reach over. However, there are a lot of ranges that won't let you do that. So basically, you just gotta talk to them beforehand and see. And maybe you talk to the range master and say, hey, is there a time there's slower use of the range that this would be permissible? That type of thing. So Jim answered Ryan James's 170's question about custom dies for Lyman RCBS lubricizers. He said call Lyman. So, and yeah. So. Anyway. So we were hoping to line up a guest, but courtesy, by the way, we were hoping to line up a guest for tonight, but courtesy of COVID, that got killed. So they'll be coming on in June, and no, I'm not telling you who they are. So, any rate, well, I think that's about all I got for tonight. Travis?
See.
Jason?
That's all I got.
All right. So episode 300 was kind of not a normal one. We kind of had some fun, a little bit screwing around, more than usual. Glad to be able to thank all of the people who have made this possible over the years. Glad Jim was able to join us, even if it was just in the chat for the last few minutes. Just thanks to everybody who's helped us down this road and been a part of this wonderful and awesome ride, and it's not going anywhere anytime in the near future. So, yeah, we'll just, I can't say thanks enough. So, to everybody that's been a co-host, everybody that's come on as a guest, everybody that has been part of the chat, everybody that sent us emails, text messages, comments, whether it's on YouTube or, on the show notes or sending us an email or whatever. So thanks, everyone. If you're watching this, just please give us a thumbs up if you're liking it. If you don't like it, then be honest and give us a thumbs down and tell us what you didn't like about it. So if there's stuff that's wrong, we can't fix it if nobody says anything about it. So, but Hook'em's trying to be funny as usual. Anyway, so Chris, I'm actually going to talk to him about that. So we actually have a few of those in the store, so I may actually look into saving up for one. I don't know.
It's going to be a disappointing episode because he's not getting one. We can talk about how he would like to get one.
We should start a GoFundMe for him.
No.
GoFundMe for tire chains for the Toyota.
Yes.
About 4-wheel drives too.
Yes. Now I'm in.
Chris, Chris, you should just send him one piece a week.
I even have a shell plate for his 550.
Oh, that's awesome.
Sitting back there for a 338 Lapua.
Drew, we'd love to be able to turn this into a Hollywood production. Trust me. We would love to be able to do this a lot better than we do it. We're grateful we can do it as well as we do. So, and grateful for, honestly, Travis, thank you for all that you're doing with all your extra videos and making sure that the show gets over to Reloaders Network all the time now. I greatly appreciate it. So
you're welcome. Let's get people over there to check out those 3-gun videos.
Yeah. You really got it. Travis does an amazing job with it, and just he enjoys what he's doing, so that's the fun.
And he's the Bob Ross of 3-gun.
I say I'm not very good. I'm not horrible, but I do enjoy it. So, like I said, I'm recording it, and if something good happens, something bad happens, you guys see it all.
So, Travis, you are doing better than everybody who's sitting on their ass on the couch.
Well, I did take first in my division too, though.
Well, see, there you go.
I debate if I should post the scores because maybe some of those people don't want their names and places put out there. So
yeah.
So what division do you shoot in 3-gun?
Open.
Oh,
of course he's going to shoot open. He likes his gadgets.
I like having
he
red
shot
dots.
He lives in his mom's basement division or something like that.
Well, you guys can probably hear what Jason refers to as my little brother in the background throwing a temper tantrum because he wants to come down here to mom's basement with me and socialize with you guys. And he's not allowed. So he's upstairs throwing a temper tantrum right now.
This is my co-host for the night. He's a lot quieter than the last time he joined me for the podcast.
That's good.
Well, I don't mind my little guy coming down here, but he is a tornado. So when he comes down here, yeah. I have all my brass mixed together. There's just nothing left untouched.
I believe it. So. Josh, all I got to say on that, they will help you find the stuff. So.
We got one you can borrow.
Exactly. All right, gang. Thanks again. We'll have a more reloading centered topic next week. And on that note, keep your breath.
Remember, guys, give a man some cast projectiles, he shoots for a day. Teach a man to cast those projectiles, and he shoots for a lifetime.
Boy, what a Bob Ross moment, isn't it?
It is.
So my turn, or
yes?
Okay. Be an asset, not a liability.
And for Jim,
squeeze.
Don't yank it. Use some ALOX. Take somebody shooting. Support the Second Amendment Foundation and other 2A friendly groups. And yes, Chris, it does come with a happy little tree.
And Jim, we all love you, buddy.
Mark did that wrong. He should have said be an asset, not an ass hat. Come on, Mark. Step up your game. All right, gang. Good night, all.
Good night.